Jōmon Pit. Hunter-gatherers of the Jōmon period dug shallow pits lined with wooden posts and thatched roofs, creating semi-subterranean pit dwellings that kept out wind and cold. At sites like Sanai Maruyama, you can see reconstructions revealing communal clusters around hearths. These humble homes testify to Japan's deep prehistoric roots. Azekura zukuri. As wet rice farming spread in the Yayoi era, communities built Azekura zukuri granaries on stilts, their triangular log walls protecting grain from moisture and pests. Examples like the Shoin at Todaiji showcase precise joinery and simple elegance. These raised floor storehouses highlight early Japan's timber mastery. Shinden zukuri. From 794 to 1185 CE, aristocrats lived in Shinden zukuri palaces, long, raised pavilions linked by covered corridors around reflective ponds and gardens. Sliding screens and open verandas dissolved boundaries between inside and out. Though originals are lost, reconstructions at Heian-mura recapture the era's floating, elegant spaces. Shoin zukuri. Between the 14th and 17th centuries, samurai refined the Shoin zukuri style. Tatami-floored reception halls with built-in alcoves, fusuma panels, and decorative coffered ceilings. These rooms governed formal etiquette, hierarchy, and showcased lacquer and calligraphy art. The Shoin blueprint still shapes traditional Japanese interiors today. Sukiya zukuri. Beginning in the late 1500s, tea masters pioneered Sukiya zukuri, favoring rustic simplicity, exposed wood grain, and bamboo accents in intimate tea houses and garden pavilions. Low ceilings, modest alcoves, and subtle eaves encourage contemplation. Over centuries, Sukiya elements seeped into upscale suburban villas and refined restaurants. Machiya. During the Edo period from 1603 to 1868, urban machiya sprang up as narrow-fronted homes with lattice shopfronts and deep multi-story plots surrounding inner courtyards. The ground floors served as shops while families lived above, seamlessly blending commerce with domestic life. Today, Kyoto's Gion and Ninenzaka districts pulse with renovated machiya, now housing cafes and guest houses. Minka. Also in Edo times, Minka, from thatched roof rice barns to tiled township houses, adapted timber frames, earthen walls, and sliding partitions to local climates and materials. You'll find Kawara-tiled Minka in milder regions and Kayabuki thatch in snowy districts. Open-air folk villages like Haida preserve these regionally distinct farmhouses. Nagaya. In crowded Edo neighborhoods, Nagaya long row dwellings lined narrow lanes, each unit sharing walls and a central corridor. Commoners and low-ranking samurai lived in small but efficient rooms, fostering tight-knit communities. Nagaya's legacy lives on in Japan's modern terraced housing and apartment blocks. Gassho zukuri. From the 1700s in Shirakawa-go, Gassho zukuri farmhouses sport steep thatched roofs like praying hands, shedding heavy snow and housing silkworm lofts in their vast attics. Up to 5 families might cohabitate under one roof, weaving social bonds into the structure itself. UNESCO-listed villages still showcase this communal ingenuity. Ryukyuan. On Okinawa's subtropical isles, traditional Ryukyuan houses sit behind coral stone walls crowned with red aka Gawara tiles, born from centuries of shell mound and Ryukyu kingdom influences. Thick whitewashed walls and low eaves stand up to typhoons, while Shisa lion guardians ward off evil. Today's preserved villages keep this sun-soaked vernacular alive. Giyōfū. After the 1868 Meiji Restoration, Japanese carpenters grafted porticos, sash windows, and neoclassical pediments onto timber frames in Giyōfū hybrids. Port cities like Yokohama sprouted these pseudo-Western homes, signaling Japan's first embrace of global architecture. A handful survive today as museum villas and former consulates. Taishō Modern. In the 1920s to 30s, architects imported Art Deco and Bauhaus ideas into seaside villas and suburban homes, flat roofs, ribbon windows, and geometric facades. These early modernist houses bridged Meiji eclecticism and post-war rebuilding. Surviving examples in Kamakura and Kobe reveal Japan's budding modernist ambitions. 2x4 wood frame. From the 1950s, North American-inspired 2x4 timber frames churned out two-story box houses clad in vinyl or tile across Japan's suburbs. Standardized for quake resilience and quick construction, they anchored the post-war housing boom. Today they form the backbone of single-family neighborhoods nationwide. Prefab Modular. In the 1960s, Sekisui House, Daiwa House, and others pioneered prefab homes. Factory-built panels snapped together in days on site. Homebuyers picked from dozens of floor plans and finishes, enjoying cost control, quality assurance, and warranties. Prefab dwellings still line modern suburbs, both ubiquitous and quietly reliable. Urban multi-unit. Starting in the 1950s, wood-framed appado in 2 to 3-story walk-up form spread across city neighborhoods as affordable rental blocks. By the 1960s, steel-reinforced manshan rose as concrete mid- and high-rise condominiums complete with private ownership, shared lobbies, and elevators. Today, these urban multi-unit buildings house the majority of city dwellers in Japan and define the look of modern Japanese city living. Danchi Housing. Between the late 1950s and 70s, Japan erected over 2 million danchi apartments, concrete towers and walk-up blocks that housed a generation of urban workers. Though lacking private gardens, they fostered communal courtyards, shops, and playgrounds. Many have been retrofitted, but danchi remain an icon of post-war city life. Kyōsho Jūtaku. From the 1980s, sky-high land prices in Tokyo and Osaka spawned Kyōsho Jūtaku microhomes on plots under 50 square meters. Architects squeeze lofts, light wells, and secret storage into 30 to 40 square meter footprints, turning constraints into sculptural delights. These avant-garde infill houses crowd narrow backstreets worldwide. Container and capsule. In the 1990s to 2000s, designers repurposed shipping containers into budget retreats and stacked capsule units like Kurokawa's Nakagin Capsule Tower. These modular boxes favor mobility, immediacy, and youth culture. While capsule towers remain rare curios, container homes pop up in rural resorts and art projects. Zero-energy home. Since the 2000s, zero-energy buildings and passive house methods, super insulation, triple glazing, and heat recovery ventilation have infiltrated custom homes. Demo houses by Panasonic and Sekisui dot climates from snowy Hokkaido to subtropical Okinawa. Eco-conscious families now treat net zero living as modern minimalism. Contemporary timber. In the 2010s, architects like Kengo Kuma and Shigeru Ban championed modern timber homes with oversized eaves, louvered facades, and glue-laminated beams. Many float on stilts or pilates, inviting light and air underneath. They reaffirm Japan's enduring love affair with wood in high design form. Kominka Revival. A recent movement rescues vacant kominka, traditional rural farmhouses, by inserting steel, glass, and modern systems into century-old timber frames. From shikoku to tohoku, these projects blend heritage carpentry with contemporary function. They celebrate Japan's architectural past through creative adaptation. Minimalist Concrete. From the 1970s onward, exposed concrete homes, championed by Tadao Ando, offer monolithic, gallery-like spaces punctuated by warm timber accents. Smooth walls, shutter marks, and sculpted light wells create serene sanctuaries in dense lots. Though premium-priced, they remain icons of modern Japanese luxury. 3D printed pods. Emerging since the 2020s, startups are prototyping 3D printed concrete pods, AI integrated smart homes, and robotic shell assembly that complete structures in days. Early trials in Kobe and Fukuoka feature sensor-driven energy management and modular furniture pods. These futuristic dwellings hint at the next chapter of Japanese domestic innovation. Thanks for watching. Which one would you pick as your dream home? Drop your choice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more architecture deep dives. See you next time.